Hello everyone, welcome back to TeachConnect. Today we have Mrs. Anjali Rasayan with us to guide us on how to motivate students towards their academics. Let's have a short session with Mrs. Anjali Rasayan.
Hello, ma'am. Good evening. This is Sindhu from TeachConnect.
Hi.
Today we have Mrs. Anjali Rasayan with us with a career spanning of over 40 years in her education and started her career in 1975 as a lecturer of biology in Parle College, Mumbai. And also she has served as a vice chairman and principal of eminent CBSE schools, including GDMSP Obal Reddy Public School. And currently, Miss Anjali Rasayan is the Chief Advisor and Director Academics of Schools of Pan India. Ma'am, you have been associated with many years in education, like probably 40 years of education you have been. So you might have many experiences into the educational field regarding the children, career, future, and many more. So how could you suggest children regarding their career or future, whatever it is, in this current generation? What do you feel like major challenges are the children facing?
Okay, I'll come to the point very straight away. See,
Yes.
this generation of kids who are there, who are born after 2000, they're called millennials. All right. So we are talking about the millennial generation, which is completely different from what I was there in my childhood, or you are pretty young to me also. The millennials think very differently. Millennials are tech savvy. They're very focused people, but at the same time, their values are very different from what the values of the parents or the grandparents would have been. Millennials have a lot of problems of their own, which we don't seem to understand and which we should understand. The problems of competitions are terrible with them because they have a large numbers to face with. And millennials are also the people, the product of these are, the kids whose professions now, whose careers now will not be the same as what it used to be even 10, 20 years back.
Yes.
Their careers are going to be completely different now from the earlier ones. So they should not think of the cliche careers which used to be happening earlier. You become either a doctor or you become an engineer and IIT, and that's the end of the world. But now careers are as good as, even being, if you are good at it, even being a DJ, even being a radio jockey. If you're good in speaking, you can be that. You can have mass communications. You can be a news reader, a television anchor. You can be right from environmental engineer to kind of event management to stuff like that. And all of them are, I wouldn't say they're low paying or high paying. They're favorably good paying. You can get onto farming now. Farming is one of the best evolving career now in terms of you use biotechnology and you use your farming techniques. You'll be the best manufacturer of products, which are what the entire world wants nowadays. So if there is an advice you are asking me to give, these kids already know their advice very well. But what they don't know is that they have to get on to the non-cliche kind of careers. Please think of what's going to be 10, 20 years from now. And whatever is going to be there, which you can find out, your Google Baba will tell you everything about what 20 years from now is going to be. Start thinking on those lines from now, and then you're going to reach there. One more thing about careers is, please do not take the line which all your friends take it and the whole mass takes it. You are an individual self. So please be ready for your individuality. See your likes and dislikes. See your strengths, understand them, and take that forward. Whatever is your strength, take it forward, not your weaknesses forward.
Yes.
And that would be a very short answer. I'm sure there's more to come, which we'll discuss.
Yeah, this was great. Actually, whatever we do, whatever we think, we have to excel in that particular position to reach our heights. That was a very well message, ma'am. And also, like we have what praising techniques would we use to motivate the students? Because most of the students, like when we motivate the students, when we praise them in a particular way, they wish to go and more come forward more and more with their ideas and ideologies. They want to express something when we praise them. Oh, I may get something. Ma'am will praise me when I do this thing, when I do that thing. So what praising techniques can we use to motivate a child in his future?
So now, is Is this question directed to a student or directed to a parent or directed to a teacher? Because the techniques will differ.
Yes, directed to a teacher.
So if this is directed to a teacher or even a parent for that matter, there's one little thing I can tell you is that there's nothing that succeeds like success. They say nothing succeeds like success, you know, and they also say that success multiplies itself. All right. But failures also multiply themselves equally fast. Multiplies. But if you have, let's say, what we don't teach them nowadays, everybody knows how to celebrate success. Who doesn't know? You get little success and you'll bet 10,000 friends around you, and then you need a party time, you know, you need a reason for partying. But did anyone tell you how do you celebrate or how do you cope up with failures? And did any of the, you know, it's a question for parents and teachers, did anybody feel in this whole world of our experiences that we have never failed ever? We have failed in so many ways. It may be failure in our academics is 1/100th of the thing, but there's failure in our communication sometimes, failure in convincing people sometimes, failure in you wanted to do something but it did not happen. That also is a failure. So if we were to count our failures and then we were going brood over it, we would not be where we are today. So Einstein, not Einstein, the one who invented the bulb, Thomas Alva Edison, is the one who invented the bulb, the electric bulb. Yes. Do you know how many failures that person had? He had 1,000 failures. Each time he did the thing to make a bulb, it failed. But 1,001 time it clicked. So there's a saying that it did not work by, at least Thomas Alva Edison had said this, that I know at least that I knew 1,000 ways don't work. And now 1,001 has taught me that this works like this. Yes. So if you don't have failures, you will not know what is going to be the success. Now comes to motivation. Now motivation is a result of success. Okay. Motivation is also intrinsic and motivation is extrinsic. By extrinsic motivation means outside motivation, in the sense you are done very well, you're done a very good person. Oh yeah, you give praises. That's an extrinsic motivation from outside. You get some flowers and you get some chocolates and you get very temporary motivation. But what is permanent is your intrinsic motivation, inside motivation. It should come from inside of every person, saying, okay, so big deal. If this did not succeed, I'll try again and I'll do that. If that did not succeed, I'll do that. That intrinsic motivation is in the person's hands. There's no book on the earth. There's no, area, Google Baba also on the earth that will tell you how do you get motivated yourself. So you have to think positive. Trust me, thinking positive is one mantra for your intrinsic motivation, inside motivation that drives you from your own. Some people say, hey, I don't want to do that. I've tried several times. I give it up. That is not motivation. If you tell yourself, no, let me get up. Let me do it one more time. Who is that? Let me. That let me is yourself. So this is intrinsic motivation. And many times this comes when you are positive in your outlook. So always try to be positive. See the positivity in every little thing that is your way. It could be a bad thing happen to you. In that also you see what is the good thing that was. That is positivity. So that is the best motivation, and it's sustainable. Sustainable means it won't be lasting for a short time. It will be everlasting with the person. I hope that answers.
Yes, ma'am. Because failure is a stepping stone of success, as we all believe. So many students, when they fail in some of the other issue, they will be disappointed a lot. They'll not be motivated for the very next thing what they are doing. Automatically, that also gets failed, because this is a correct answer, or this is a nice message where children all go with it and have their future success. And also, when coming to the your career, ma'am, you have visited many of the countries like US, Japan, Philippines, Canada, regarding in connection with the educations and career counselors. So in this way, I think you have been come up with many different kinds of education, different kinds of things you have been came up. So what do you think we were lagging in our education compared to the foreign education? Like what makes a difference? Like many people are moving towards foreign countries for the higher education. So what makes a difference with the Indian education?
See, now what makes a difference, I'll tell you, but right now something is happening in the Indian education context.
Yes.
Something very exciting is happening. And you know what is that? That is called NEP, National Education Policy 2020, has completely changed the whole way that Indian education system was operating so far. It has literally brought down the rote learning. We are all a product of rote learning in our country. We rote learn. The teachers make them rote learn. I'm sorry for those teachers who think that, what are you telling us? I'm telling the truth. Over 42 years that I've seen, we have got that in a DNA. You know, it's that DNA that you teach this and this is the way you want the answers to be. Yes. That is rote learn, isn't it? You don't expect that you teach something. Can the answer come in some other way? Do not accept it for two reasons. One is that, and this for the teacher. One is that this answer is not, I don't know this answer, so I will not accept it. The other reason is that, I want it the way I want it. I don't want your ways to tell me. So both ways are dangerous for a teacher if you want to get into the new next mode of operations. We are talking 21st century children, for God's sake. Let's all wake up. We are educating 21st century millennials. And we're using 19th century and 18th century methodologies. So I think there's some disconnect between the way we are thinking of these millennials and the way we are delivering the goods to them. Complete mismatch. So thankfully, NEP is taking care of that. And a lot of things which is happening abroad, which is happening in the universities internationally, has been brought into NEP. For example, two things very important. One is that they're focusing on conceptual knowledge. Conceptual knowledge means don't give them knowledge from the book only. Let the knowledge become a concept in them. So how do you make a conceptual knowledge? If you write on the board and do rote learning, it can never be conceptual. It's memory learning. But conceptual knowledge means that the concept go inside the brain and it will never come out. So that's one. And I'll give one more example for that one and then I go to the 2 point. Answer for conceptual knowledge is, for example, if you are, I'm an adult today, but I used to ride bicycles when I was a kid. I used to ride bicycles, I used to go biking. And then a big gap happened, 30 years gap happened. And then 30 years later, just around 5-6 years back, went to some resort and I took a bike and I said, let me just ride a bike. Trust me, I fell down once or twice, but the third time I could bike. What is that? Second example I'll give you. If you know swimming, okay, and you swim in pools and you swim in wherever, and 30 years later, 40 years later, you again go to a pool. First few things you might feel scared. Fifth, sixth one, and you're swimming. Then you're swimming again. What is that? Example one was cycling. Example two was swimming. What is that? That is conceptual knowledge. Skills. You've got the skills. They'll never go out of your system. You understand? So once they've gone into you, whether you are many years later, you will be able to reproduce those skills. That is conceptual knowledge. They'll never go out. But rote learn knowledge is, oh, did I study this in my 10th standard? Oh, I forgot completely. And this is most of us, academic matters, we don't remember a thing of what we studied in a graduation or a post-graduation or whatever. Forgotten. But certain things you don't forget, like cycling, like, swimming, you forget that? Never. It might be a big gap, but you never. So this is conceptual understanding. So this is one of the NEP's forte. The second in the NEP's forte is the outcome-based learning. Don't go for what you are putting in. Please see what is coming out. We were at the moment focusing on what we are giving as teachers, what we are giving. Bombard the kids with this, that, and the other. We are forgetting what is outcome. But now it's shifting to outcome. There is a simple saying which I use when I do my teachers training is that if the child has not learned, then the teacher has not taught. Repeat again. If the child has not learned, then the teacher has not taught. It is not that if the child has not learned, then the child must be bad. No. If the child has not learned, then the teacher has not taught, which means the teacher has to teach in multiple ways for conceptual learning and understanding, that the child will always never forget that. So with these two, NEP is levelizing international education even in our country. So though I have traveled to the United States from coast to coast, to Japan, to Spain, to you name it, the countries, and we see liberal education there. We see this thing there, which is possibly not in our country, but rest of it is quite strong. We are a good country with a very strong intellectual power. Is that they are very liberal in their thoughts. They allow the child freedom of expression, freedom of thinking, and that's where they become much more creative. We don't. We curb that. It says, no, we're going to have it our way or no other way, you know. So now that is changing with NEP coming in, and very soon we will also have that liberal kind of education in our system, and it's going to be really interesting.
Yes, because the strategies which has been started by NEP are very wonderful actually. This would help the child learn the conceptual learning very with this way. Yes, with the way of this conceptual learning, the children could, like, he will just paste a picture in his mind of that particular topic.
Absolutely.
And always, yeah, never he forgets, never it's thrown out of his mind forever. So that is a wonderful strategy actually. And also when we come up towards the making a learning fun, like when we teach preschools or very small kids of KG, kindergarten students, we have to always make them learn with fun techniques. So what fun techniques can we use for a preschool children, like kindergarten children?
It's a very big question, though it looks like very small. See, learning should be a joy for not only kindergartners, but it should be a joy even the 12th graders and the 9th graders and the 8th graders. What preventing you from giving them joy and giving only those ones joy? So what is joy?
Kids always.
Joy, what is joy? Joy is when you are physically experiencing things. Yes. You understand? Everybody is getting a thing in their hand, they're working on that and they're breaking on that. They're kind of enjoying the process, and the teacher is patient enough to not scold and shout at them for experimenting on things, knowing fully well that it's experimental. That is joy. And in a school versus online education, when you're online, you don't have social interactions. You cannot have social interactions. Right now, if I'm talking to you all, I'm on the online mode. You're on the online mode. Maybe the audience is on an online area. Do you think we can see each other's expressions? We can understand what we are saying. We are saying only by language, but we are not understanding the inner nuances of our expressions. You know, the feel of touch, the feel of the laughter, the feel of what naughtiness that one is doing and that one is not doing, the feel of friendship, the feel of social, interactions. Those are not possible when there is no one-to-one interaction. So in the kindergartners, especially if that's a question, there should be joy in everything. First and foremost, I would say, it's a small advice, and to the teacher, is that please put on a mask. Every teacher should be a good actor. Every teacher should be a good actor. By actor, I don't mean male. A male and female nowadays are called actors only. By the actor, I mean every teacher should be smiling. If the teacher is not smiling, trust me, the small child doesn't want to go to the teacher who is frowning or serious, because they're scared. They feel what the teacher is going to not. So you should have that look on your face, and that your body language should be such that, come to me, I'm there for you. That should be the expression or impression that the kids are going to get from this teacher. So put a smile on your face, put a mask, even if you're very angry, even if you have a big fight at home, whatever else is happening, but you have to put a mask on and you have to greet the children. That is your first mantra and the last mantra to make joyful learning. Then the joyful learning happens and nothing else, right? Rest, I think it happens with interactions.
Yes, yes.
I hope
because children are very much connected with the teachers from morning to the evening. They are very connected with the emotions of the teachers as well. So whatever they act, they reflect the same in their minds and faces as well. So teachers, actually, we hats off from TeachConnect, because morning to evening, leaving behind their problems and all, connecting with the students and explaining them very hardly. It's actually a big deal. Very, very hats off to all the teachers. Yeah.
That's why they have to be actors. They have to be very good actors.
Yes, yes. Real-time actors. Not real-time. They are the real-time actors. And when we come towards the final question, ma'am, children love reading books and watching stories. Then do you think they can learn morals out of it? And what kind of knowledge do they drag out of it?
See, there's a difference between morals and values, by the way.
Yes.
Morals is gone. When I was a kid, there used to be a subject called moral science. Okay.
Yes.
When we
Earlier.
grew a little more, then they were called value education. Okay. Value science and value education. Now, you know what is it called? Value correction. We are nobody to give morals to anyone. Please remember that. And nobody should even use the word morals. A value is something which can be modified to suit the purpose. Suppose we say, please tell, do not tell lies. What do you think we are telling? Do not tell lies. Now, if this is used in the context that somebody has to tell somebody to save the somebody, you tell a lie. I'm just saying. This is moral value correction. This cannot be construed as you did a bad thing by telling somebody lies. Some very unfortunately, let's say somebody's grandfather passed away. Now this person is very attached to the grandfather. Now the person is asking, where is my grandfather? Where is my grandfather? Somebody tells him, wait, he's gone to the market, he's coming. So just to give him a little, that push will be given slowly. Wait, he's coming. That's a lie. But is this lie bad? It's a lie which is going to help this fellow. So this is nowadays it's called value correction. So we cannot be the judges nowadays. Please do not have anyone being a judge of values. None of us are judges. If we are doing something and we are doing that with the good interest of anything, whether it looks bad at that time, that is still considered good because you're doing it in the good of somebody else or some situation. You're helping. So gone are the days when there was morals is a very, I would say, a negative term for value. Morals, you must not do this, you must not do that, you must do that. Who is preaching this? If you're preaching that, then we have to practice ourselves also those things. If we're not practicing ourselves, I guess the morals should be gone. That term is a very old term. Now the new term is value correction. You can give certain child comes to a teacher, say, ma'am, this one did this to me and then I did that to him. Did I do something wrong? Yeah. At that time, the teacher has to give the value correction. Okay, if you did this and he did that to you, then you give him back in by saying, okay, I'm also going to take a pencil and I want to see how you feel. Did I do something wrong? No, you didn't do something wrong. You taught him a correct lesson. Is that wrong? But morally, it will be called wrong. So we don't have morals. I am not a believer of morals nowadays. Let's be a believer of values and value correction if need be. I hope that is okay.
Yeah, that was a nice conclusion, ma'am, actually. So in this session, I think children, parents and teachers, they have learned many things, many methodologies, how to make learning a fun, how to build up their career, what are the strategies they have to make towards their career, planning, organization, everything within a single answer. They have learned many things from here, and I think these suggestions would help many of the students to reach their goals and reach the success in their life. And probably for more suggestions and explanations, we would reach you shortly, ma'am, with many more questions the children are facing these days in this modern world. We have many questions and many issues we have with children, parents and all regarding their education, career, their health, whatever it is. Daily we come up with some of the other issues. We find many solutions with the great personalities here with us. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. So once again, we'll have another session coming up with new issues. Yeah, we'll come up with the new issues and new strategies. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
My pleasure. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, this is a session today.
Can we leave?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, this is a session today. If you like our video, we'll come up with more and more interviews with our experts, advisors. Thank you. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe this video for more expert advice interviews. Thank you. Sindhija signing off.